There's more drama in the United States, an internal tussle between two agencies, Elon Musk's Doge and USAID. We're talking about Hollywood-style drama, a standoff outside the head office, a clamor for secret files, and a public feud on social media. Let's meet the main characters first. USAID stands for United States Agency for International Development. It's a humanitarian agency of the US government. It was set up by John F. Kennedy in 1961. Its job? To run aid missions across the world, things like vaccination drives, humanitarian shipments, and college scholarships. USAID is the biggest donor in the whole world. It makes up 42% of all United Nations aid. But there's another side too. America often uses aid to meddle in foreign affairs, to secure influence in other nations. So its legacy is mixed. Which brings us to the second main character in our story, Elon Musk and Doge. Doge is Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Its job is to downsize the US government, whether it's by firing workers or trimming budgets. And USAID is a prime target. President Donald Trump has already frozen most foreign aid programs. His next target seems to be USAID. Reports say Doge officials tried to forcefully enter the USAID building, that's the main headquarters in Washington, D.C., but the security officers denied them entry. Instead of leaving, Doge agents threatened to call US Marshals to forcefully break into the building. Eventually, they did get in. Doge managed to access the main control system. This allows you to lock out employees from USAID. It also lets you read internal emails. Reports also say that Doge agents sought classified files. Now, these are top security documents. Only people with security clearance can read them. Doge says no such documents were taken, but who knows? If you can break into a government building, nothing is off limits, certainly not lying. But what is Musk's issue with this agency? He says USAID is politically partisan and beyond repair, that it funds radical left missions globally, sometimes even anti-American ones. Elon Musk has called it a criminal organization and a viper's nest. Clearly, some very strong emotions there. So what's his solution? To shut down the whole thing. Musk says President Trump also feels the same. But he hasn't said so yet. Reports say Trump's plan is to downsize USAID to maybe fold it within the state government. And if that happens, it will be slow death. Nearly 100 USAID staffers have already been put on leave. Among them are 2 security officers, the same ones who denied entry to Doge agents. The USAID website was also taken down on Saturday. Their X account is also offline, so clearly it's the end of USAID as we know it, and Trump has no reason to walk back on this. His supporters do not like foreign aid. They want American money to be spent in America. So how will this play out globally? Well, there are 2 parts to it. The first is the humanitarian impact. The second is the political impact. USAID has programs in almost 51 countries. They fund certain critical operations like sanitation and vaccination. But if the money stops, so will the work. In fact, that's what happened in Syria last week. Workers at the Al-Hol displacement camp were told to stop working. Why? Because USAID was frozen. This is not how responsible countries behave. If you commit, you must follow through. Plus, the United States has a responsibility here. US bombs have destroyed West Asian cities and homes. The least they can do is fund the rebuild. Which brings us to the second part, the political impact of USAID's gutting. Former US officials have accused the agency of meddling. They say it's an extension of the CIA. And there is truth here. USAID has supported civil society groups abroad. They are known to destabilize regimes. Iran has made such accusations, so have Venezuela, Georgia, and Hungary. Like I said, it's a mixed legacy. USAID had to be separated from the deep state. You cannot have a CIA B team pretending to do charity abroad. At the same time, you cannot let America off the hook. Their intervention scarred millions of people. It is their responsibility to help survivors, to rebuild cities and homes. If not, there would be no accountability. We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we've put together for you. Touted as the minimum UAE's defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send this special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Pretty measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote efforts. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.3, 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines. Detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.